We have adopted a new vision statement. We are into creating an environment that is ultimately conducive to business operation and the sustainability thereof as time goes forward. And our new vision statement is really strengthening commerce and industry because Delta matters. So there's some real focus, and it includes the fact that Delta matters. We are economics driven. And in that regard, there are actually two global issues prevalent in modern society: economics and justice. The multicultural component in contemporary societies is probably a close competitor. You kind of have those three: economics, and justice, and multiculturalism. Although justice is an area that I have been working in as a career for quite a number of years. I also have an economics background, which gives me an opportunity to help the Chamber in moving forward with our new economic plan. The Chamber movement is a broader context. In a broader context, is about promoting successful trade and commerce. The world is knocking at the doors of Delta businesses, and the opportunities that lie before us are significant. We are able to help because we have partners in the BC Chamber of Commerce. We have partners in the Canadian Chamber of Commerce who help us as we work through issues not only with local government, but also with the provincial government and at the federal level. And we have been quite successful in bringing some of the issues from Delta right to the Prime Minister's office through our representatives at the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. So stay tuned. You're going to be hearing some more from us through the media in those particular terms. Delta Port is a significant economic driver for Delta businesses and is expanding, and infrastructure is being built by the different levels of government to accommodate the new businesses in Delta. Really important. That South Fraser Perimeter Highway is ultimately important to be able to take the containers from the Delta Port, take it through the distribution centers and off into the marketplace. 60% of the population of British Columbia lives in the Lower Mainland, and therefore it doesn't make sense to take our containers up through the port of Prince Rupert and then try to bring that 60% of the material back down to the Lower Mainland through another venue. Way too expensive. We have to bring it in through our local ports, and that's what happens here. A lot of the product that comes through the Delta Port and through the ports downtown Vancouver stays in the Lower Mainland. Some of it that goes through our DCs, or distribution centers, it actually heads off east to Calgary, Regina, Winnipeg, and as far east as Toronto. So stay tuned. There's some new things happening in that particular area as well. As your local Chamber of Commerce, we have adopted a vision of strengthening commerce and industry in your community because it matters to the economic well-being of Delta. Now, Mayor Jackson and I didn't coordinate this part of our presentations. She had no idea what I was going to say, and I had no idea what she was going to say, but it's fitting that we're on the same track because economics is so important. A strong economy helps to promote and to pay for healthy social programs and thereby building community. And I can't make that statement any stronger than what I've just said. Without commerce, there is no health programs. There are no social programs. It has to be, the driver of all of that is the money that businesses and industry bring to our tables so that we can send our children and our spouses and ourselves off to work every day to help to build that economy and to build, and more importantly, to build building a community. Our economy is building the community. The community won't survive without a healthy economy. Successful businesses are the backbone of a strong economy, and this Chamber of Commerce is committed to supporting and promoting sound business practices to achieve positive economic results. To that end, the Delta Chamber of Commerce has partnered with the BCIT business faculty, whose role it is to analyze and report results of their research on specific Delta-related economic issues so that businesses can make informed decisions. An example of that I can think of recently, BCIT business students undertook at the urging of the Chamber of Commerce to conduct a study in the area of a free trade zone. The world is knocking at our door. If we have a free trade zone, that gives us another business that we can set up and run from from our ports. And there was no information in Canada. As a matter of fact, the students, they called the Federal Minister of Trade, had absolutely no information there with respect to free trade zones. So where do we go next? The students went to the United States. There are a couple of free trade zones there. They went offshore gathered information there and brought that information back to the Chamber of Commerce in the way of a written report. As well, they did a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation for me one day. And as a result, the students, they don't get paid for this, other than they get grades. They definitely got an A+ on that particular project. And it was my pleasure to be able to present that to them. So it worked both ways. The information is scientific, it's well studied, it's well researched, and then businesses can take advantage of that information to make solid and sound decisions. And that's so ultimately important for those of you who are decision makers to be able to base your decisions on good information. Another meeting I attended recently in Westminster involved a study done by a BCIT student where he wrote a paper on for BCIT on short sea shipping, an idea that would take many trucks off the roads in Delta while allowing container industry to move the products that they're carrying to the markets faster and probably cheaper once we get that kind of a system in place. Gordon Payne was at that particular meeting. Gordon is sitting right over here, and he can attest to the information that was contained in that meeting. Much work is still to be done with respect to short sea shipping. It has some viability economically, and according to the study, it can be done. The time is right to start that kind of work. So there are just two examples in which BCIT has been tremendously helpful in providing the Chamber of Commerce with a plethora of information and good scientifically constructed reports that allow us to start working towards these kinds of initiatives. The Chamber of Commerce is in a position to put these studies and ideas forward to BCIT, as well as distribute the findings back into industry for those decision makers. This is one way to facilitate the coexistence of industry and education so that both entities can more meaningfully contribute to building economies that are strong and innovative. Ladies and gentlemen, I've only been able to give you a small snapshot of some of the Chamber's business and what the Chamber is involved in, but as I look at the new board members and the expertise that they bring to the Chamber, I see some exciting economic activities ahead. Please join me in welcoming our board members and the new executive to the Delta Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much.